It is the magician's bargain. Give up our soul, get power in return. But once our souls, that is, ourselves, have been given up, the power thus conferred will not belong to us. We shall in fact be the slaves and puppets of that to which we have given our souls. Revered by many, Elon Musk is a once-in-a-lifetime public figure. A man with seemingly unlimited potential, Musk has found himself at the helm of several innovative technology companies, while also being championed as a savior for the future generations of humanity that will inherit his technological breakthroughs. What drives a man like Musk to continue his work? This documentary will seek to answer that question, and the answer may be more surprising than you expect. Elon Reeve Musk was born to May Haldeman and Errol Musk in the summer of 1971. Musk has described his childhood in several interviews as abusive due to his father Errol. However, the extent of this abuse is unknown, as both Elon and his brother Kimball have refused to discuss the details in public. Elon's mother, May, has also declined to discuss the extent of Elon's childhood abuse at the hands of his father. However, she has stated that the abuse was horrendous. Elon has also stated in an interview with Rolling Stone magazine, quote, "My father is such a terrible human being. You have no idea. My dad will have a carefully thought out plan of evil. He will plan evil. Almost every crime you can possibly think of, he has done. Almost every evil thing you could possibly think of, he has done." Elon Musk's abusive childhood begins to raise questions surrounding generational abuse and ritualized mind control. Errol Musk, Elon's father, is currently expecting his second child after impregnating his stepdaughter, 𝐤𝐫𝐿𝐫. Errol first met his stepdaughter when she was 4 years old. At the time, Errol would have been 45. Elon Musk's precocious knack for entrepreneurship reportedly began at age 12 when he created and sold his first video game. Following his early success, Musk sought to take the next steps that would inevitably lead him to becoming the household name that he is today. In 1995, Musk quit graduate school at Stanford University to co-found an internet startup. Teaming up with his younger brother Kimball Musk, the pair started a software company called Zip2 that created digital maps for online newspapers. 4 years later, the brothers sold their company to early PC corporation Compaq for nearly $300 million. Elon's share of the sale was the tidy sum of $22 million. He used about half of that money to co-found X.com, which he saw as a software platform for the future of online banking. The startup later merged with a rival that had a similar plan and renamed itself PayPal.
This is PayPal today, which is a global company. It's a unicorn before the term unicorn, and it is spitting out of eBay later this year. But the more interesting story is about what is called the PayPal Mafia, which is the group of people behind this. And so This is kind of the iconic PayPal Mafia picture. You can see Peter in the front here with the dice and the poker chips. And then you've got each of these people in this picture have actually gone on to participate in the broader Silicon Valley. In 2002, we sold it to eBay because we had to grow it on its key market and we were exiting the gambling business. Did this mean that we were done? No, because part of what happened is this network of folks went out and founded essentially these companies. And part of what was interesting in these companies was that the diversity of all of them, like none of the content is exactly the same. If you look at this, LinkedIn is about kind of professional networking, YouTube is about video, Tesla electronic cars, SpaceX launches spaceships, Yammer, which is business communication, Slide, which is social gaming, Palantir, which is government information systems, now going into corporate information systems, and Yelp, which is small business reviews. But even more than this, part of what happened is we then invested in all of these companies.
Musk netted over $100 million when his company, PayPal, was eventually sold to the online business platform, eBay. In retrospect, PayPal gives the appearance of having been an incubator for something far more overarching and far-reaching than what was known by the public at the time of its inception. Could this near-perfectly spun web of success be pure coincidence? It's no secret that some of the funding for tech startups is provided by government-backed agencies such as DARPA and In-Q-Tel. DARPA, or the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, is a research and development agency of the United States Department of Defense, responsible for the development of emerging technologies for use by the military. While In-Q-Tel is an American not-for-profit venture capital firm, which invests in high-tech companies to keep the Central Intelligence Agency and other intelligence agencies equipped with the latest in information technology. The largest mass surveillance program in the history of the United States was established by DARPA and called the Information Awareness Office. The goal of this project was to achieve total information awareness on everyone within the United States. The Masonic logo, bearing the pyramid and all-seeing eye, begin to draw us nearer to the truth which lies hidden within many intelligence agencies across the globe. Other previously funded DARPA projects include the Siri voice recognition and personal assistant software, which allows people to communicate with quasi-artificial intelligence through Apple devices. Another DARPA-funded project was censorship machine Google. The funding for Google, on behalf of DARPA, came from the Digital Library Initiative, which is described as a multi-agency program, which includes the National Science Foundation, NASA, and DARPA. One of PayPal's co-founders, Peter Thiel, is among the most obvious connections to the international intelligence apparatus. Thiel's company, Palantir, is described by a Financial Times article as follows. The idea for the company was formed in the years following the attacks on September 11, 2001, which led Mr. Thiel to think about how to use technology to help protect nations. The company was originally funded from In-Q-Tel, the Central Intelligence Agency's not-for-profit venture capital arm.
And so this is kind of the iconic PayPal Mafia picture. You can see Peter in the front here with the dice and the poker chips. Palantir, which is government information systems, now going into corporate information systems.
Much like his PayPal co-founder, Peter Thiel, Elon Musk also has his connections to In-Q-Tel through a man named Mike Griffin, who was once the former head of NASA, as well as the former head of In-Q-Tel. Griffin and Musk once took a trip to Russia together in an attempt to secure rockets that Musk required in order to send mice and plants to Mars. This is at least the official story that is publicly known. Elon Musk also happens to be connected to the aforementioned DARPA through his company SpaceX, which contracts out to DARPA in order to deliver payloads for the Department of Defense. DARPA's official website states, "The booster system, Falcon 9, was historical. SpaceX, an Elon Musk company, developed the technology, and DARPA was the company's first customer, providing access to launch from a Department of Defense site." The scam of Silicon Valley is put forth to leak out perceived technological innovations that will eventually be used to subjugate humanity. The cover story is generally the same: a college dropout that had the next great idea. These idea people are then used as front people to disguise the true intentions of the technology rolled out to society by the ruling class. Silicon Valley has spun quite a web with various names involved in the creation of technology and technocracy. Once, every so often, a name will rise to the top and appear to lead the way for generations to come, and this seems to be the case with Elon Musk.
As you clearly stated, and I mentioned in your bio and with your books and everything, you are a leading expert on technocracy, no doubt about it. And I've been following your work for years. How would you best describe to someone who's not familiar with the term technocracy or technocrat, how would you best describe, what is a technocrat? Who is a technocrat?
Right. I always lead to answer that question with a statement from technocracy itself. This was a movement that started back in the 1930s originally. They defined themselves. I don't need to rehash their own definition because it's still true today as it was back then. They said back then, in 1938, for instance, in the magazine they published called The Technocrat, they said technocracy is the science of social engineering. That's the first big tell here. The science of social engineering. It's the scientific operation of the entire social mechanism to produce and distribute goods and services to the entire population. That's the economic flavor of this whole thing. It was not a political system. They hated politicians. They wanted to do away with the entire political structure and simply manage the economy where people live. That's where people do stuff, right? And they wanted to do it using what they called the science of social engineering. And it's not too difficult to peg a lot of people as a technocrat. For instance, you look at an Anthony Fauci, for instance, pure example of somebody who's involved in the science of social engineering. It's not about the virus, it's about social engineering. So we could look back through history and see a lot of examples. You could look at Bill Gates right now. Bill Gates is the classic example of a technocrat mind. You can look at an Elon Musk. You can look at a Eric Schmidt, ex-CEO of Google. You can look at a Jeff Bezos. These people are not communists, they're not socialists, and they're not Marxists. They're technocrats.
There are several methods that can be used in order to control mass populations. Governments are the most obvious and widely applicable tool for societal control, since human beings respond well to hierarchical structures. Across human history, there have been several examples of government, ranging from democracy all the way to totalitarianism, with all of them providing the same results. A tiny few at the top of the political hierarchy dictate policy to everyone else. One of the more modern approaches used to coax mass populations into their own enslavement is known as technocracy, which consists of a hierarchical structure where an appointed class of experts rule over humanity through the use of technology and social engineering. Elon Musk's family has a history with the technocracy movement that was once launched in Canada. An article published by the Financial Times states, "North of the border, the technocracy movement was taken so seriously that it was banned by the Canadian authorities fearing it planned to overthrow the government. The party's disillusioned leader, the adventurer Joshua Haldeman, later abandoned Canada and moved to South Africa. At the heart of the movement was the belief that human action was measurable and, ultimately, predictable. One of Haldeman's grandsons is Elon Musk, the space entrepreneur who aims to turn us into an interplanetary species. Maybe technocracy will finally have its day, appropriately enough, on Mars. Following in the footsteps of his grandfather, Joshua Haldeman, Elon Musk appears to demonstrate a similar obsession with technocracy. Musk seeks to be the expert who will lead humanity into a merger with artificial intelligence through his company, Neuralink. Neuralink, which seeks to implant a microchip into human brains, will allow people superhuman computer-like abilities. But have the potentially negative repercussions of this merger been fully thought out? Musk has been warning the world for several years regarding the potential dangers involved with introducing artificial intelligence to the human population. Yet, at the same time, his aim is to merge humanity with artificial intelligence.
I'm very close to the cutting edge in AI, and it scares the hell out of me. It's capable of vastly more than almost anyone knows. And I think the danger of AI is much greater than the danger of nuclear warheads, by a lot. And nobody would suggest that we allow anyone to just build nuclear warheads if they want. That would be insane. And mark my words, AI is far more dangerous than nukes. Far.
The last frontier of privacy is the human mind. Neuralink boasts the future capability to intrude into this hitherto unknown dimension of our reality. From storing human thought and memory, all the way to brain hacking, there are no limits to the capabilities of social engineering with this level of technology. The aforementioned DARPA is actively engaged in the exact same research as Musk's company, Neuralink. From controlling thoughts to controlling travel, Elon Musk also seeks to dominate the future of the electric car industry through his company, Tesla. The technology for electric cars has been around since the 1890s. However, this technology was suppressed by the ruling class until electric cars could be automated through computers and artificial intelligence. Controlling humanity is a much easier task when the freedom of travel can be restricted through automated electric vehicles.
In 1925, Henry Ford told the New York Times, "The fuel of the future is going to come from fruit like that sumac out by the road, or from apples, weeds, sawdust, almost anything. There is fuel in every bit of vegetable matter that can be fermented." This was not merely a pipe dream. The original Model T could run on either ethanol or gasoline. In 1941, Ford produced a vehicle made of cellulose fibers derived from hemp, which ran on hemp ethanol. The dream of an agrarian revival and an alternative to petroleum, however, was soon squelched by the snake oil salesman, and gasoline became the de facto standard, preserving the mind-boggling fortunes of the oil barons. Of course, to ensure that cars became kings of the road, something had to be done about the existing public transportation infrastructure in many American cities. A consortium of GM, Firestone Tire, and Phillips Petroleum, with Rockefeller's Standard Oil of California at the helm, formed a joint company to buy up and dismantle the functioning trolley systems of 45 cities, including New York, Detroit, St. Louis, and Los Angeles. Similarly, the dream of the electric car was dashed upon the shores of the petroleum industry, and the vast resources it was able to expend in suppressing its competition. At the turn of the 20th century, it seemed much more likely that electric cars would be the wave of the future. They accounted for 28% of the cars in the United States in 1900. They required no gear shifting or hand cranking and had none of the vibration, smell, or noise associated with gasoline-powered cars, and they were relatively affordable. The greater range of gas-powered cars, the discovery of cheap and abundant Texas crude, and the mass production of combustion engine vehicles, however, conspired to make sure that the electric car, and the independence from the oil industry that it afforded, would never become the standard.
The murky and suppressed origin of Tesla as a car manufacturing company reveals the true nature of Elon Musk and those who back him. The founders of Tesla are listed as Elon Musk, Martin Eberhard, J.B. Straubel, Ian Wright, and Mark Tarpenning. How did Elon Musk become the face of Tesla? What happened to the other co-founders of this company? As it turned out, Martin Eberhard would eventually go on to sue Elon Musk for fraudulent activity. An article published by Wired.com noted Tesla Motors founder Martin Eberhard is suing current CEO Elon Musk, accusing Musk of taking control of the company, orchestrating his ouster in 2007, and attempting to rewrite history to take credit for developing the pioneering electric roadster the two men worked together to create. Musk's vision for electric cars is digested by the public at large as a sustainability effort to help protect our planet. However, as we start to dig deeper, we will find that this is simply another one of the many illusions surrounding Elon Musk. In 2020, Tesla was ordered by a German court to cease felling trees after clearing out 227 acres of forest in Germany in order to build a gigafactory plant that produces Tesla electric vehicles. This all despite protests by local environmentalist groups. Keeping in line with his front for sustainability, Musk is also in favor of climate change reform.
I think it's really important that people demonstrate to governments around the world that they care about climate change. The fundamental issue that we're facing is that even though the vast majority of scientists, like 97 or 98%, basically everyone who doesn't have a vested interest or isn't crazy, thinks this is a real serious issue.
This all from a man who fronts up the spacecraft manufacturing company SpaceX, which is currently redesigning rockets that will be able to fly up to 1,000 missions per year, producing a carbon footprint of over 400 tons of CO2 per launch. Elon Musk also happens to be a major champion of carbon taxes, which will be the Trojan horse for a global realignment of economies and the financial institutions that underpin them. In pursuit of a future Martian technocracy, Musk is taking small steps first here on planet Earth with his company SpaceX, which has partnered again with DARPA in order to assist with launching an unknown number of small surveillance satellites across the globe in what is known as Project Blackjack. However, Musk's own efforts dwarf those of DARPA's. Musk is seeking to create a mesh network of over 42,000 low-orbit satellites, which can provide internet connectivity to the entire planet. A globally ubiquitous internet connection is key to connecting humanity to the Internet of Things. If left unchecked, this will be a world in which technology manages society and psychopaths rule society. On May 30th of 2022, SpaceX reportedly completed its first successful astronaut launch. The ship, containing the astronauts, launched from NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida at 3:22 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Could the repeating 3:22 sequence, found in both the day and year, as well as the time of launch, be in reference to the infamous and elusive secret society headquartered at Yale University, known as Skull and Bones? alumni of Skull and Bones include George W. Bush, Republican, and John Kerry, Democrat, both of whom were front-running U.S. presidential candidates for their respective parties in the 2004 election.
You both were members of Skull and Bones, a secret society at Yale. What does that tell us?
Not much, because it's a secret.
Is there a secret handshake? Is there a secret code?
I wish there were something secret I could manifest.
322, a secret number?
There are all kinds of secrets, Tim.
You were both in Skull and Bones, the secret society.
It's so secret we can't talk about it.
What does that mean for America? The conspiracy theorists are going to go wild.
I'm sure they are. I don't know. I haven't seen the web.
Number 322?
NASA and secret society Skull and Bones share a discomforting connection to Nazi Germany. It was Skull and Bones alumni Prescott Bush, father of George H.W. Bush and grandfather of George W. Bush, who helped fund Adolf Hitler's rise to power. An article published by the New Hampshire Gazette states, "The National Archives and Library of Congress revealed that Prescott Bush, the grandfather of President George W. Bush, served as a business partner and U.S. banking operative for the financial architect of the Nazi war machine from 1926 until 1942. The documents also show that Bush and his colleagues, according to reports from the U.S. Department of the Treasury and FBI, tried to conceal their financial alliance with German industrialist Fritz Thyssen, a steel and coal baron who, beginning in the mid-1920s, personally funded Adolf Hitler's rise to power by the subversion of democratic principle and German law. NASA, on the other hand, is also connected to Nazi Germany through a now well-publicized U.S. intelligence program known as Operation Paperclip, which recruited Nazi German scientists to America in an attempt to harness their brain power. One of the most well-known recruits was Wernher von Braun, the technical director at the Peenemünde Army Research Center in Germany, who was instrumental in developing the lethal V-2 rocket that devastated England during World War II. Von Braun later became director of NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center and the chief architect of the Saturn V launch vehicle, which eventually propelled 24 American astronauts to the moon. So we are told. Musk appears to have been foreordained as the leader of a future Martian colony by Nazi and NASA rocket scientist Wernher von Braun. Von Braun's novel, titled Project Mars, A Technical Tale, was written in 1949 and describes the colonization of Mars. Von Braun writes in his book that the head of the new Martian state will be called Elon. The theater of the mind is center stage for the puppet masters of our false reality, and no expense is spared when it comes to manufacturing the characters in this grand drama. Musk's role in this manufactured false reality is the illusory hero of mankind. Musk has been put into place by shadowy forces in order to provide hope for a deus ex machina, which is an unexpected power or event saving a seemingly hopeless situation, especially as a contrived plot device in a play or novel. Musk is being pushed out onto the world stage in order to help pacify society with the false hope of a savior, just as technocracy and the further enslavement of society both come into full swing. This is the ultimate inversion and illusion of Elon Musk, a man who works to secure the enslavement of future generations of humanity, all while being touted as the superhero humanity needs. Musk has already achieved this fictional hero archetype through the contrived media image he lives behind. Musk is constantly likened to the Marvel comic book character Tony Stark, also known as Iron Man. Musk even reportedly met with actor Robert Downey Jr., who plays Tony Stark in the movies, so that he could help give more context to what it might actually be like to live as Iron Man.
Is this us?
Absolutely. It can be.
Great. Make it us.
Okay. Mr. Musk, how are you?
Congratulations on the promotion.
Thank you very much.
Elon,
Thank you.
those Merlin engines are fantastic.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, good idea for an electric jet.
You do?
Yeah.
Then we'll make it work.
One major problem that the global cabal has now, more than ever, is figuring out how to either silence or deceive what are labeled as conspiracy theorists. Rampant censorship has gotten this cabal far. However, there is still the lingering problem of the people who are still on the fence in terms of how they perceive world events. This is where a figure such as Elon Musk becomes valuable for the ruling class. Musk has been able to deceptively guide vast numbers of would-be conspiracy theorists towards the false reality red pill. The red pill is a reference to the Matrix film series. The character, Morpheus, offers the character Neo a choice between a red pill and a blue pill. The red pill will give Neo the ability to see beyond the Matrix, while the blue pill will put Neo back to sleep in the Matrix. The most susceptible among those in our society will look at Musk's tweet as the aforementioned Deus Ex Machina. Much like Iron Man, Musk is ostensibly here to save us all. We are being asked to simply take the red pill and follow Elon Musk out of the Matrix, which ironically involves hooking your brain up to a digital cloud architecture that interacts with artificial intelligence. This happens to be the plot of the aforementioned Matrix movie series. In this image, we can see a profile picture that was briefly uploaded to Musk's Twitter account. The image is from the video game series Deus Ex, which was released in 2000. Deus Ex depicts a cyberpunk-themed dystopian world. A lethal pandemic, known as the Great Death, has ravaged the world's population. The setting of Deus Ex features advanced technology, including nanotechnology and human augmentation. The story's missions entangle the player in a conspiracy that brings them into conflict with the Triads, Majestic 12, and the Illuminati. Musk is creating the mainstream perception of battling shadowy forces and secret societies, all while being backed by and fronting up for these same organizations.
And it was all about how we've got to prepare the public for this because we're going to be able to download their memories and then put it in a new body. This is before Blade Runner. So see, it's not like this is the world's not imitating Blade Runner. Blade Runner is a preparation for what's coming. And they're telling you, more human than human. This is going to be more advanced. This is going to be better. But like everything, like a cell phone or like a vaccine, it's got a Trojan horse. It's got a back door. It's already been tested. It's already been perfected. It's being rolled out. You're not given the real technology. You're not given the real life extension. You're given the crap, Joe. And the Earth is seen as like an egg yolk to give the propulsion power for this new thing that's going to be born. And whether you believe that or not, just like when
the new thing meaning artificial intelligence?
Beyond that. It's a fusion of artificial intelligence and a whole synthesis of new life forms. And so that's the big giant race when Elon Musk came in and told you, because he goes to these billionaire functions and he has a conscience, so he's freaked out. And so that's the big giant race when Elon Musk came in and told you, because he goes to these billionaire functions and he has a conscience, so he's freaked out.
Much can be said about conspiracy personality Alex Jones. Jones is very controversial in the conspiracy research community as well, with some researchers even claiming he is a double agent in terms of how he distorts conspiracy research while providing snippets of truth. This is a common disinformation technique used to throw people down a never-ending rabbit hole full of half-truths and lies. With this style of disinformation, fact and fiction become so blurred that the truth can hardly be deciphered.
And so that's the big giant race when Elon Musk came in and told you, because he goes to these billionaire functions and he has a conscience, so he's freaked out.
After hearing Jones's claims, it seems there are two options. Either Musk is working on behalf of a global cabal as an illusory savior, while simultaneously seeking a technocratic agenda and total subjugation of humanity, or Elon Musk is actually the savior of humanity, and he also happens to be funded by this same global cabal that is seeking this psychopathic agenda through organizations such as DARPA and In-Q-Tel. Musk always seems to be operating on the fringes of the conspiracy community, while seemingly working to accomplish and secure everything that the researchers within the conspiracy community are seeking to expose. Through the mind trick of propaganda, some independent researchers are being led to support Musk as he helps usher in this new world order of technocratic enslavement. Every preparation is being made to ensure that Elon Musk is the ultimate global cabal frontman, someone who is loved by the masses and will still wear the global cabal shock collar. Musk is a man who operates in two worlds. In one of these worlds, Musk is the mainstream puppet that fronts up for the global cabal. In the other world, Musk is a rogue billionaire who pretends to battle oppressive forces. Illusions can be difficult to spot. However, at the end of the day, our actions will always speak louder than our words.